Hey guys, I'm RozaldVane, and welcome back to another episode of Zero Escape VLR, or Zero Escape Virtue/Reward, Virtue/Reward VLR. Anyways, last episode we did our choice of ally and betray. I kind of didn't feel bad this time around, weirdly enough. Maybe because my expectation was like pretty low of like ally and betray. I think maybe the reason why I felt more pissed off when I first did the ally betray was because Fi was judgmental about making us do a thing and tries to explain it so hard to the point where like at the end it's like see you made the bad choice, like that's what Fi did to us. And then of course Alice rubbed it in on us from that first playthrough, but here Tenmyouji betrayed us for sure. That's a interesting twist, but he doesn't really provide a really good excuse besides the fact that he wants to save his own hide. Like, he just wants to save his own ass because he saw an old lady who might be related to him get murdered, but he's assuming that everyone here would murder someone, which makes no sense to... Yeah, that's one thing I just realized after saying that. It makes no sense. Sigma, us, Fi, and Tenmyouji were in the same space, the same room. We didn't really split in any point in time of the game so far. Yet he betrayed us because he thinks that one of us is the murderer when both of us literally were in the same flipping room and we didn't kill him or anything. We didn't do anything to him. We were with him pretty much the whole step of the way. So that makes him more idiotic to betray us. I think he has an ulterior motive, obviously, but he just doesn't want to say it because he was like, oh, like, I saw the death of a colleague or a person I know, so my heart has been like, I need to just get this off my chest, but I also need to get everyone out of here, get rid of everyone so I can get out and like escape this hellhole or something like that. Like, it's kind of like he's in his own personal hell kind of thing. So that's why he betrayed us, but it just makes no sense really to just be like betraying people just randomly left and right. I just think the writers did choose to randomly write him to betray people for no reason in this particular aspect because of a death of a person he knows. But anyways, we're getting to see Alice yell at Quark and Dio. We were about to start that. It's good because we did get betrayed by Alice, so I want to see her get what she got coming for herself because she betrayed us. Because we couldn't do anything about it by the fact that she called us dumb. So I want to see how she's reacting to Dio and Quark calling out betray onto her, even though she allied for the first time that I've seen it.
どういうことなのよ。
いや、俺はもちろん協力を選ぼうとしたんだぜ。
Oh, he's actually gonna lie about it?
なのにこのガキが突然脇からシャシャリ出てきて勝手に裏切りのボタンを。
Wait, why?
え?
No, it's Dio who did it. Literally, Dio is always the one who's doing it. So it's interesting that the dynamic is, if Dio chooses, he's gonna blame it all on Quark no matter what.
え? じゃないだろ。しらばっくれよなんて怖いガキだな。
Interesting. He's causing a rift between him and Quark.
クォーク、今の話本当なの?
How would he be telling the truth if he really just surprised?
あなたが裏切りよ。
違うよ。僕は何もしてない。気がついたらディオさんが勝手に投票のボタンを押してたんだ。
Oof.
本当だよ、嘘じゃない。
よく言うぜ。今さら可愛いこぶったって通用しねえからな。
違う。僕は。
もういいわ。覚えてなさい。
Oh, interesting. Alice looks like she's gonna betray them somehow eventually in the future in this particular branch of the game. Alice turned on her heel and stormed off before Quark could reply, leaving him alone with Dio.
お前のせいだからな、クォーク。
I have a bad feeling that Dio's lying and he's just like I think Dio's a manipulative like person though. I do think so because I don't think Dio has been a type of person who's like, even if he's the type of person who's, like, saying stuff, I feel like Dio always does it just to hurt others because he feels hurt himself.
なんで僕のせいにするんだよ。ひどいよ、ディオさん。ひどすぎるよ。
Yes, he is. I don't know why nobody notices this. I think Dio is kind of the character who, like, does things on his own accord. Like, he would love to, like, mess around with everybody because he doesn't care for anybody. He cares for himself only. I moved away silently to let them stare daggers at one another. So now they've created a rift between those three characters, which is interesting to see. Because it means that no one here is, like, really nice with each other at this point. But I also think that Dio panicked himself into choosing to betray anyways. He was always the type of guy who wants to betray anyone who allies with him, because it seems like he was very close to doing that with Luna. But again, Quark had enough time to convince him off of it. But at this point, Quark really actually doesn't get to choose, because he's letting the adult choose for him, because he doesn't know what... He doesn't feel like he would know any better, and it makes sense that he would not know any better, because he says that to himself a little bit. It seems that theirs wasn't the only team facing some friction, however.
何も責めているわけではありませんよ。
But also, like, Fi has no point to argue with me either. I think even though she and I are shaky, but we're not, like, hating each other's guts because we chose that one thing. She kind of hates my guts, of course, in the first playthrough, because we did choose it against her will, but in this case, it's like we just chose whatever we could, but yeah.
ただ、普通に考えたら裏切りを選ぶよねって話。
Oh, this is the same exact feeling that I got. Yeah, because Luna is the one who thought that they would be allying with her, but these two ended up betraying her. And they're doing the same exact behavior where Alice says, "You gotta be so... why are you so stupid to think that we would actually, like, ally when, you know, betray is much more worth it in their eyes, weirdly enough."
もういいです。
Oh, Luna, no.
わかりました。信じた私がバカだったんです。
Oof. The air in the room seemed to turn thick and sour, hanging over us like a brooding, angry cloud. It was a grim omen of darker times to come. Yeah, I can see where everyone's gonna start killing each other or wanting to kill each other.
ねえゼロ、次のラウンドはいつ行われるの？
I think, yeah, everyone is gonna start to plot some things now because of the fact that one person died. But it's also so weird, though. Like, it's weird because the moment this old lady's body was found, everyone was like, I'm gonna pull out my knife because everyone wants to just hate on each other or something. So, clearly, so far, everyone hates each other. Fi and I, which is Sigma, Fi and Sigma, kind of okay, but not the worst. Not as bad as everyone else's. It seems like Alice, Quark, and Dio are forever gonna hate each other now. All three of them hating each other. Of course, Quark doesn't have anything against Alice because it wasn't his fault either ways. He knows he doesn't want to deal with Alice to begin with. So there's probably... But Alice hates him, so it's still kind of like a rough relationship there. And then you got like Clover and Kay, who kind of don't really hate each other either. They just chose whatever they chose. But, of course, that makes Luna kind of hate those two mostly now because of the way they chose against her. And I'm guessing that Kay and Clover are neutral to Luna, even though they betrayed her. And then, of course, Tenmyouji is probably hated on by Fi and I, so it's like, it makes sense. But Tenmyouji is just neutral about it because he doesn't care. He's just like, I need to survive for no reason at all. I mean, I think the one biggest disappointment is Tenmyouji's reasoning to choose betray. That's the only thing I really hated, but I don't know.
よくわかったね。次のラウンドがあるって。
Low.
だってあなた第1ラウンドって言ったじゃない。第1があるなら第2があるのは当然でしょ。
それにそもそも AB ゲームは BP を9以上にすることが目的だったはずです。
Yeah.
2回目がなければ誰もその数値に達することはできません。
ああ、まあ、そうだね。確かに君たちが言った通り、第2ラウンドを開催されるよ。
Shoot, I don't even know what time that I started this episode. Give me a second. Okay, sorry. I had to like look at the time for a little bit so I can figure out where I'm at with like the time that I started. I didn't even check the time as I started this episode, so I can figure out if I'm hitting the 30 minutes or not.
いつ？
いつかはわからない。
どうして？
I think he's joking with us so he can just toy with us.
投票の受付は AB ルームの扉 AB ゲートが開いた時から始まるからなんだうさ。
すでに開いてますけど。
そうだね。じゃあ閉めちゃおうっと。
アンビデックスゲートが閉鎖されました。アンビデックスゲーム第2ラウンドは月の回です。
Moon round.
ゲートは月のマークが記されたカードキーにより解錠されます。
I feel like we should be in the second floor when that happens to do the second round of voting, but at the same time I'm wondering like how that's gonna look. Moon cards. Does that mean we can't use these cards anymore since they've got suns on them?
そうなるね。次は月のマークがついたやつを探さないと。
で、結局トータルでは何回行われるんだよ、AB ゲームは。
そう。
I think Zero said that we could be playing this almost infinitely until we get 9 BPs for getting out of here.
何回になるんだろうね。
Alright, I might skip the dialogue forward because this is the same dialogue again where he just kind of like toys with us and stuff like that, I think. I'm not sure if we will see anything new yet, so we'll see.
回数は
what is this one? Well, what about number 9 door? Are the rules the same?
9の扉については人数制限はないよ。
Okay, yeah, this is the explanation about, like, since the chromatic doors only accept up to 3 people usually, so far, like, will number 9 door accept all or just 3 as whatever? Yeah, this is the same thing.
第1扉と第2扉の間にあるスキャナーによって識別される。
It's funny, I'm looking at Alice's face. I don't even know what happened.
とはいえ、あの装置は何も人間の体をスキャンしてるわけじゃないんだうさ。
Yeah, he's probably still talking about number 9 door, I think. Oh, no, I want to see.
どうすれば外せるの？
方法は2つある。
Oh, it's the death or, either death or... What was the last reason? Death or getting out of the space? Yeah, getting out of the whole experiment space.
死ねばいいんだ。心臓が止まれば、その人の番。
Yeah, I know. It's the same thing.
なるほど。シグマ。
正確なルールも知らされずにゲームをするなんてフェアじゃないわ。
フェアだと思うけど。
Yeah, they're just gonna go through the exact same dialogue still to me, but it's like, I get
最
it.
後に一つだけ言っておこう。
Okay, so I'll probably continue off here now because I want to skip a majority of that whole rule explaining because they literally take full episodes. I kid you not, it took me a full 30 minutes to just run through the whole thing. Skipping through it is the best chance I can get to get forward to the new content. I know there might be some minute little lines that might change depending on the character's quirks or the character's like personality changes or behavior. But I think most of the majority of the content remains as there will be as much round as it is possible for somebody to escape, at least one person for 9 BP. On top of that, if people want to remove this bracelet, they must either die or get out through the door number 9. And on top of that, there isn't really much like of an option for anybody to do anything to get out of it unless they solve or get the 9 BP or die or something like that, I guess. Or if they try to remove it, it will kill them anyways. It basically explains the whole bracelet situation again, and it's just like a lot of this was already explained in the first playthrough. I'm not gonna go through it again every now and then because it's like going through it again just kind of hurts the purpose of seeing through this.
君たちが次に開くべき CD は下のフロアにある。もう見たよね。
Yeah, we did see them. And this is the reason why I'm continuing off of this is because he'll talk about who has a new pairing and who has a new solo and who has the new colors. Because I just saw that we had like red something. I didn't remember if it was pair or solo yet.
例の赤、青、緑3枚の扉がそれだ。これらの先に進むには表示色が水色、紫色、黄色になったバングルが必要なわけなんだけど、実はこれ君たちはもう持ってたりするんだよね。バングルを見てごらん。文字の色が変わってるでしょ。
Yep. Oh, I got purple. But I'm paired up with somebody. I'm not sure yet. The last time we did this, we were paired up with Luna. The last time we did it. But it's purple this time. I think the first time we had the first playthrough we had it was blue or red. I can't remember. Or was it yellow? I can't remember. It's been a while since I've seen it. It's like 10 episodes almost at this point, I think. From that last episode we saw our color pairing. Yeah, my color's changed. It's magenta now.
私も同じ紫色になってるよ。
Oh, I'm pairing up with Clover. That's interesting. Okay. Yeah, that's very interesting. I didn't know I'm pairing up with Clover this time around. I guess this is our first time actually being with Clover for once. I wonder what she's gonna say or what she's gonna do for this particular puzzle, because I wonder what kind of dialogue we'll get to have with her.
僕も紫色。
Okay, so we got Quark, who's now finally a solo for the first time, I think.
ってあれ？変わってるの色だけじゃないみたいだね。ペアとソロの種類もさっきとは違うみたい。
Looks like Clover and I are still pairs, though.
私は黄色で逆にソロからペアに変わったわ。
I like this actual like rotation of things. I'm kind of hoping that maybe in one of the path I would be a solo eventually, I hope. But this is interesting because Alice is now paired up with someone for the first time, I think. Because she was solo with us still, because she was forcefully wanting to solo with us for some reason.
私も黄色ですが、さっきと変わらずペアのままです。
Okay, so Kay and Alice is paired up, so that's a pair that don't hate each other's guts yet, I guess.
じゃあ黄色のソロは？
俺だ。
Freaking deal.
わしは相変わらずソロのままじゃ。
This flippin' moron is still solo. I'm a little bit angry with this guy still. Still a little angry with Tenmyouji here.
色は水色に変わったがな。
Honestly, so far I'm not liking the fact that everybody who we paired up with, who were solo against us, chose to betray us. That's like, this is the second time in a row. I mean, when I go through Luna, I'm hoping she just doesn't just have an excuse to choose betray on us somehow. But I do want to see the other pairings get like betray, like a double betray. I want to see that at least once, but there's no certainty of how that's gonna look, but who knows.
私は水色のペアです。
Yeah, Luna's paired with Fi for the first time, so that's good too.
ファイさんもそうですよね。ああ。
Yeah, it's interesting that they paired Luna and Fi because they're both the ones with like 1 point only left, and so it's interesting to see where that's gonna lead, because if they fail to choose betray or ally with or against Tenmyouji, they will die, and it's not gonna be fun. I'm not looking forward to that.
水色のペアだ。いつの間に変わったんだろう。
When we got out of the ambidex room.
AB ゲートを閉鎖した時だよ。
Oh, when they closed, I see.
AB ゲートが閉まると同時に バングルの表示色は自動的にシャッフルされるようになってるんだうさ。それからソロとペアの区別もね。シャッフルの仕方はあくまでもランダム。特に法則性みたいなものはないんだうさ。さてというわけで、これにて僕は消えるのだ。もしかしたらもう二度と。
Oh, I know what's happening.
進行役としての僕の務めは
He's
もうほとんど果たしたようなもんだからね。
He's just lying to us about not being able to continue forward with us anymore.
あとは君たちだけでも十分やっていけるでしょ。
I want to skip forward through this because I know he's just lying. But I don't know. Let's see.
da
Let's.
から
I'm gonna just skip through it for a little bit.
ってなくな
What the? You freaking dick.
まあとにかく頑張ってよ。こっそりとウサバの陰から見守ってるからさ。
Of course.
ほいじゃあまたいつかどこかで Have a nice tragedy!
Uh-huh. I have a feeling that at this point, like, we're gonna see some people killing each other, I bet. Like, they're gonna take the time to try to get each other's throat. I have a feeling that everyone's gonna start getting at each other's throat somewhat in this particular case. Because in the first playthrough, people were, like, okay, because even though there was some, like, a little bit of pain for some people, there was a sort of point of, like, being saddened by the fact that they were betrayed and stuff like that in the first playthrough. But in the case of here, it's like everyone was really at each other's throat versus the first time. But then we also have a dead body to deal with, so I'm wondering how that's gonna go.
実物が存在するならウサギ汁にして食ってやるんだが。
How about you should worry about yourself before you do that? That sounds gross. I don't really want to think about it.
ねえ、そんなことよりもどうするの？これからCD の第一扉が開くまでまだだいぶあるけど。
42 minutes. Yeah, looks like we have about 42 minutes.
とにかく他に出口がないかどうか探してみましょう。通風口とかダストシュートとか。もしかしたらゼロの見落としてる場所があるかもしれないし。
賛成です。こんなところでじっとしていても仕方がありません。
I'm guessing that also that at this particular branch, there won't be a bomb thing going on, because I know in the first playthrough there was the instance of knowing that this place would blow up because of a bomb, but this one didn't really show hints of that yet or at all. So I'm just wondering if there is no threat of bombing, but instead having a mystery of people getting murdered somehow.
やれるだけのことはやって、それでもどうにもならなければ例の扉へ。
では分かれて探索することにしよう。集合時間は CD の第一扉が開く5分前。
I have a bad feeling if we split up, somebody's gonna get murdered, because there is a potential of people pairing together and they kind of hate each other. They want to just actually do something mischievous. It may happen.
場所は同じく CD の第一扉前。ということで、いいな。
There were none. After some nods and mumbling, they split up and moved off to investigate. I was the only person who stayed behind. So, damn. How the hell did I end up here? Oh, is this the rewind of time again? Okay, I'm gonna go through this again. I'm gonna, yeah, because it basically rewinds back to this time period of him just, like, talking about his past, of what happened. Okay, so this is where we can choose to go wherever we want to do. So let's do the same order that we did in the first playthrough, which is go to the room that we went in through first, and then we'll go to the one that we haven't been to, and then we'll go revisit the... So we'll go Infirmary, then Lounge, then Crew Quarters, because we did finish Crew Quarters in the first playthrough. So we'll leave that at last. But we haven't really finished the old lady examination, so I'd rather go there first. Okay. Yeah, I accidentally had the thing. The choice didn't let me choose back to normal clicking. I'm wondering if it's the same individuals or different individuals in this room now. Different individuals offer usually different things, I think, dialogue-wise, but...
シグマか。何の用じゃ?
Want. I just came by to check up on you.
そうか。てっきりわしを殺しに来たのかと思ったわい。
You want me to? I mean, I don't mind if you're just being an asshole. Why would I do that?
わしはさっきの AB ゲームで裏切りを選んだ。その結果、お前とファイの BP は1に。
Actually, let me see something about the flow. Okay. Because I think the next part of it is the choice between which door we choose. And we only get 2 choices because of color. Color reasons. Yeah, but that's hardly a reason to kill you.
さて、どうだかな?
It was clear that that conversation wasn't going anywhere. I shut my mouth and looked around the room. We were in here not long ago, so... So, is it just you here?
ついたての向こうに2人いる。
This side.
1人はクオーク、向こう側を調べておる。
Oh, it's Quark and Tenmyouji. Yeah, because they're both related to some degree, that they aren't really at each other's throat or anything.
もう1人は言わなくてもわかるじゃろ。
Dead body. Oh, the lady who was murdered, you mean? Yeah. You've been acting kind of weird ever since we found her. Why is that?
こんなところで不意に死体を目の当たりにすれば誰だって取り乱すじゃろう。当然のことじゃ。むしろ今何事もなかったかのように行動しておるみんなの方がわしには不思議でならんよ。中にはきっとここに死体があることさえ忘れておる者もおるじゃろうし。
That's just because we've got a lot of other stuff to think about. Can you blame them for being a little single-minded? They're trying to escape from a game that's just made it clear it had no problems killing them.
生き延びるために?
Yeah.
であるならば犯人を見つけ出すことの方が先ではないか?
I mean, it's clear as day that you, Fi, and I were in the same space. So why would you not trust us in any way that we were not the ones to just... Because we don't have a thing to just gut her in like, what, a second or two. Like, nobody just goes down in, like, whatever. And it's 3 to 4 hours, meaning that it started... Her death probably happened before the game even started, to think about it. Because we weren't even spending that much time when we've discovered her body. What does that have to do with anything?
彼女を殺し、わしらを閉じ込めたじゃよ。両者は同一人物である可能性が高い。
Yeah, and...
わしはそう思っておる。
Yeah, that's true, but... Even if that happens... Like, how do we know who's who still? If Zero is one of us... Then you're saying one of us murdered the old lady. You saw it too, right? The person in the gas mask?
まあな。
Did you notice anything?
さあ、特には。白い煙を吸い込んですぐに意識を失ってしまったからな。わしもクオークも。
Nani? What? You and Quark were grabbed together.
そうじゃ。
I think because Quark is considered his grandson. Like, how long will it take for them to just admit that they're related? I just don't know why they don't try to do that now so far. Is he your grandson?
そんなことを聞いてどうする? 関係ないじゃろうが。
But what if it does? Maybe it'll shed some light on something else.
真相など見えてはこん。クオークのことは関係ないからじゃ。
So it's got nothing to do with you then. He's trying to walk away from responsibility when you need to actually be responsible for what you just said or did.
なんなんじゃなんなんじゃ一体どうしてわしのことばかり追求してくる
Oof. Because you're suspicious.
なんじゃと
You said everyone's suspicious, but what about you, you dumbass?
わしは怪しくなどないわ
Alright, tell me this then. When and where did Zero Senior abduct you?
わしのことを恨んでいるであろう相手に教えてやる必要などない
That makes you even more suspicious. Like, you're acting just as brash as Dio. Dio was like this. Now you're acting like him. And it's kind of chosen to make you look more guilty for whatever you did. Alright, fine. I'll just ask Quark. Quark!
よせやめろクォーク決して答えてはならんぞ
Whoa, you're getting more suspicious by the... I started toward the partition as I spoke with the intention of finding Quark. I found him as I rounded the divider, but... What? He was just standing there, a blank, slightly confused look on his face. Hey, oi, Quark? You right? Can you hear me?
え、何？どうかした？
I turned to look at Tenmyouji. He looked back confused. Weren't you listening to our conversation?
うん。なんか早口でよくわからなくて。
Fast? Hayai?
頭がぼやっとして何を言ってるのか聞き取ることができなくて。
Was Hayai fast or... I know it's early. Yeah, I think it's fast. Sorry, because I'm sorry, my brain was like trying to figure out what the Japanese word of fast was again, and I just literally heard Quark say the word, so I was just... My brain was just like, wait.
でも今はもう大丈夫。治ったみたい。
So he probably is still affected by the that weird medical chemical disease thing that's like spreading around. His brain is just slowly getting chipped away from that disease thing, which is basically a thing that turns them into their own like killing machines. Like they're trying to kill themselves or others because they're insane, I guess, in a sense. Are you sure you're okay?
多分疲れが出たんだと思う。突然こんなところに閉じ込められて。それに。
He glanced at the bed in the back of the room. On it lay the body of an old woman. What? Nande. Tenmyouji, what the hell were you thinking? You can't let Quark back here.
そうじゃなクォークこっちへ来い
Zach's kind of coy about everything so far. Alright, cool. This will be where I will end it for now. Yes. So thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next episode of Nobody Minds. Hope you guys have a good, amazing day. Weekend night to everyone watching this. So far, very weird things are happening. I feel like this is a beginning to a problem that we'll be seeing further as we make our choices into the space. Because of the fact that it's very bad. Like, things are starting to look really bad for what's going on with a lot of the characters that are like going through this space. Man, I'm a little bit happy that we're going through a good chunk of it so far, but I'm just a little bit daunted by the fact that there's... Well, not daunted, but like I feel very tense about the fact that there's so much to go through. Like, we still haven't gone through that spot, and same goes for here. But yeah, there's just a lot to go through. But anyways, point taken. This is for the episode, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one, or Nobody Minds. Hope you guys have a great, amazing day, weekend night, or whenever you're watching this if you're not continuing forward. And other than that, that's it for this episode. So, Next episode, let's go ahead and continue this conversation, explore the other 2 spaces, and then we'll move on forward to whatever needs to come up next. So, otherwise, Roz, out.